Please take your seats and silence all devices. Our program will begin soon. Please welcome Martin Woodward.
Wow, hello everyone. My name's Martin and I help look after open source maintainers, students, teachers and developer love here at GitHub. Now I've been around GitHub for a while and in the early days we had this saying that still rings true: dream it in the morning, build it in the afternoon. You didn't wait for perfection, you just built things. And with the right tools, you can bring that idea to life before the spark fades. As we all know, that's actually where some of the best ideas come from, you know? Now, GitHub's grown a lot since then. There's way more teams, there's way more moving parts, but this spirit's still foundational to how we work. The belief that anybody can take an idea and make it real. That drive to turn, human imagination into reality, it isn't new, though. Since the beginning, tools have always been the accelerants of human progress. The calculator, flip phones, the internet, and now AI. Every leap, every tool, it just shrinks the distance from idea to MVP. We want less setup. We want less time, just on the little things, more time deciding what's worth building, how it should feel to use. We want more time creating, not toiling over mechanics. Because at the end of the day, a tool is just a tool. While technology accelerates human progress, what drives it is collaboration. It's people talking to other people. And look where that's got us. We've got over 180 million developers creating and building together on GitHub. We see a new developer join GitHub every single second of every day. You see, it's not the tools that create great software. It's not AI that creates great software. It's you. You are the spark. You are the thing behind the magic. How you think, how you build, how you create, you're the people that give software its soul, okay? Yeah, in the rush to deliver faster, to ship smarter as you grow in your career, there's often this sense that we've kind of lost something, that flame, the reason why you started coding in the first place. Finding ways to keep building is honestly what keeps me sane in between the meetings. If I'm holding a soldering iron or if I'm hacking on some non-production code maybe, that's my happy place. That's why I got involved in open source in the first place. Now, today it feels like, everything is AI. But actually, when I was starting out, it seemed like the peak of artificial intelligence was the Furby, okay? Now, fast forward, by the time my youngest was born, Furbies had like this one here, Bluetooth and LCD screens for eyes, and obviously the ubiquitous mobile companion app. Now, he's 17 now. He's looking at colleges, and actually, when I was helping him clean the closet the other day, I actually found his old forgotten Furby, and I brought it here for you today. So I can't help but think, the tech in this thing is absolutely amazing, right? It's, imagine if I could like hook this up to Home Assistant, or if I had it showing the status of my builds, it would be phenomenal. But this thing is old. The official companion app is long gone. The services are shuttered. Okay. This is going to be great. Never work with children, animals, artificial intelligence, or Furbies, is what they say. But anyway, okay. What if I wanted to unleash the power and this buried in this cute little fluffy tummy?
Itchy.
Oh, Furby, you're going to be fun. Right. Luckily, the community documented all this in the Bluetooth protocol and everything in a project called Blue Fluff.
Yeah.
Now, Blue Fluff's great and it's amazing, but it doesn't run on modern Node. In fact, many of the dependencies are out of date or no longer available. But I then remembered, I thought I was out of luck, but I then remembered I have Copilot. So I went into VS Code and I fired up Copilot, and I just asked it to take the prompt and create a new project in Python for me. I've got that now, and it took about 5 minutes to go build that code based on the existing code and the documentation. And now I have a new project called PyFluff. Look at that. I've got 4 stars. Get in. I'm going to be a maintainer. Awesome. Okay. I've open sourced this now, obviously, and I've kind of made a few tweaks. So if you bear with me, and if Furby will behave, we're going to try and show you this in action. So I'm going to go along, I'm going to go into VS Code and start up my server. And that's going to come in, it's going to listen. The way I've built the architecture is so I can run it easily on a Raspberry Pi and hook it up to Home Assistant and things. So that's up and running. So that's now going to the cool web interface I built for it. I built this by doing a drawing on my iPad and just handing it to Copilot in VS Code and say, give me this UI, please. I'm going to connect to the Furby, and then we'll see what happens. I'm actually going to put my glasses on because I'm getting old and I can't see the screen. Okay, cool. Oh, do you see that? The debug guys, I've pwned my Furby now. Okay, cool. So I'm going to come in here. And now if you look, I can set the antenna red. Can you see that on the screen? Yeah, there we go. I can make it green for when my builds succeed. I can change the counters so I can make Furby even more excited and well. Furby's actually got some pre-built actions. And these were really well documented in the Blue Fluff documentation. So I pointed Copilot at the docs and just said, give me a JSON array. And now I can make it do stuff, like I can make it say, hello.
Hello?
He behaves a lot better when he's under my control. I make him giggle on prompt. And actually, the documentation's amazing. I can search from, hundreds of actions. I can make him sing. Or I can connect him up and tell you some incredibly important news. You ready?
Wait for it. Wait.
Furby, you're embarrassing me. Okay. Now, I can play this all day, as you can probably tell, and I have been doing far too much work on it. But my buddy Ben Bolter has actually created an MCP server for this already, hooked up to Furby. It's pretty cool. Why on earth am I showing this to you? What's the point? Sure, it's an amazing power of actually Copilot's power at taking a legacy code base and modernizing it. But there's no way I would have spent the time with all the preparation for Universe building this project if I hadn't had Copilot's help. Poor Furby would still be, his ears stuck up, sorry. Poor Furby would still be stuck in the closet instead of traveling halfway around the world to meet all you. And here's the thing. There wasn't anybody asking me to create this, and yet I can see at least 5 of you now actually going on eBay and trying to buy one. It's the 2016 Connect, if you're looking, okay. I did this because I wanted it. That's the point, I willed it into existence because I thought it might be cool, and then I shared the code on GitHub. And that's what makes our community so special. Heck, most of the projects on GitHub started exactly the same way. They were willed into existence because somebody had an idea. The best developers never stop experimenting. We stay curious, and that's where the real breakthroughs begin. Not with requirements and documents, but with wonder. That mindset of curiosity, of learning by doing, that's what's always been at our core. That's why we're here today. With Copilot at our fingertips, that sense of wonder and possibility is just as alive as it was. Now when you dream it in the morning, you have even more power to build it that afternoon, no matter how whimsical or how audacious that idea is. Because at the end of the day, AI doesn't write the story. You write the story. You are the spark. You're the soul, the reason the world moves forward. You and your right tools, your imagination, it isn't the limit. It's actually just where the adventure begins. Let me show you something.
The CLI team wanted to have a welcome banner for the experience. I've never made ASCII art before. I've never tried to animate anything. I've never done anything for a CLI before. But I was like, I bet I could figure this out with Copilot's help. I went to Copilot and said, build me a web app that lets me input text files and then play them back as animation. And within a half an hour, I had an MVP of that basic idea. Then I sat down with Copilot and started planning out an actual web app. I built this tool that I'm calling ASCII Motion that is exactly the tool that I wanted to exist, and now it exists. You can draw directly onto a canvas with just letters and numbers. We can apply gradients. You can use ASCII typings. Down here, I've got an animation timeline. These are individual frames that I can set the duration of and control playback. Taste and art takes a lifetime to develop. Technical skills are a whole other lifetime to develop. Copilot gives you access to those technical skills in a way that superpowers the creative skills. I'm Cameron Foxley. I'm a brand designer at GitHub, and now I'm an open source maintainer.
Woo. A lot of us here have had that feeling that Cameron has of suddenly realizing you're an open source maintainer, you know? He needed a tool he didn't have, and then 4 hours later, he'd vibe coded the tools he needed to create the ASCII banner for the Copilot CLI using Copilot itself, which is rather cool. Now, thanks to open source, you've got access to that tool too. And that's the spirit behind every breakthrough, okay? Just somebody asking what if and then jumping into action. Not all impact comes from big snazzy launches or wild ideas. Sometimes it's just about fixing the small things, the little paper cuts that kind of bug us every day and compound over time. That's where Helen Husandi comes in. Helen isn't just a software engineering manager here at GitHub. She's an open source maintainer on the WordPress project. And she's also, coolest of all, a concert pianist in her spare time, which is pretty neat. What I love about Helen is that in addition to shipping tons of accessibility improvements since last Universe, her team with Camilla, Kate, and Lindsay, they deliberately stay on the lookout for tiny but mighty wins, we call them, those small, purposeful changes that quietly just make GitHub better for everybody. Anyway, I'm going to let Helen tell you herself. Please welcome Helen Husandi.
Hello.
So as part of your job, you and your team have been shipping a lot of these tiny but mighty wins.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great honor to be doing that. I think my favorite example recently is making it easier to resolve merge conflicts on github.com. Before I started, the editor we offered for this task was bare bones. You had to delete all the angle brackets and the markers manually, and then hope you did it correctly. So we took cues from VS Code and added buttons to accept current, incoming, or both changes with just one click. It's little enhancements like this that have a huge impact for maintainers like me. And Copilot makes this process easier, helping us navigate a huge code base.
Yeah, when we've known each other since before you joined GitHub, and I remember when you got the job offer, you kind of joked that you were just going to join and just fix all the things that annoyed you as a maintainer of WordPress.
That is true. It's one of the pieces of advice that we give to aspiring open source contributors is to scratch your own itch. And when you've spent as many years as I have maintaining open source projects, you notice all the little annoyances that add up. So joining GitHub felt like a chance to actually fix them for everyone. It's really satisfying to see these changes go live and know they're making life easier, not just for me, but for our entire community. Even if it's saving just a few seconds at a time, those seconds add up for an individual developer, let alone 180 million of them. But that said, the credit is never all mine or any one person. There's so many teams across GitHub working every day to deliver features and solve developer pain points. We all work together to make GitHub the best place to build. Now, unfortunately, those small tweaks, those paper cuts, often have outsized complexity. And this is where Copilot shines, allowing us to quickly iterate, build, and ship. It's led to many improvements, like supporting comments on any file in a PR, shout out to Katie and the PRs team, or streamlining PR reviews, or even, finally, adding WebP support.
Yeah. Well, thank you. On behalf of everyone here, actually, can I just say thank you? And also thank you to all the hubbers out there looking out for the little things that make our lives easier. Thanks, Helen. So whether you're a designer like Cameron prepping for a launch or a maintainer like Helen fixing paper cuts, it all starts with that same thought, I can fix this. Real change, it doesn't come from grand plans, from people deciding what's worth fixing. It comes from making things just a little bit better today, making things a little bit better tomorrow, and a little bit better the next day. That's the spirit that actually runs through high-performing teams across the world, not just here at GitHub. Those what-if moments, they inspire thousands of engineers, designers, product managers, and in turn impact millions of customers across the world. In fact, let's take a look at how a global leader like ASOS puts this spirit into action.
How do you dress a generation? Start in London with a big idea and build a digital fashion hub serving over 200 markets. That's ASOS. 85,000 products, from Topshop to the in-house ASOS design. And guess who helps their 800 developers scale?
GitHub is the backbone of our developer experience. On any one day, we'll have hundreds of code changes, deployments. We were early adopters of GitHub Copilot. Speed to market is everything, and with Copilot, we've seen improvement in turnaround time, so lead times. I'm removing any developer toil so that we can focus on value work that gives impact to our customers. GitHub's been the domain of engineers and developers for a long time, but what we're trying to do now as well is bring in other parts of the business. Product managers, product designers, get everyone working in GitHub. That's where we see collaboration taking place, and that's really where we see the future.
That's great. I'm ready for a new wardrobe after that, but you're lucky you got me in a shirt with buttons today, so we're good. Anyway, it's enough from me. Please welcome to the stage Dylan Morley, Distinguished Engineer at ASOS.
Good morning.
How you doing? Thanks for joining us, Dylan.
Hi, welcome.
Now, everyone knows ASOS is a global leader in online retail, but what actually makes you come into work every day? What makes ASOS such a special place to build software?
So ASOS is home to hundreds of engineers, designers, and product managers, all working together to deliver fashion experiences at massive scale. We're involved in all parts of the physical product lifecycle. We shoot all our own photography, and we manage the supply chain across our warehouses. It's a place where creativity meets real-world impacts, and the speed we need to ship new features means every improvement matters.
Now, we've been talking a lot about how teams adopt AI and AI tools. There's so much that goes into it, from finding the right problem to carving out time and resources for the team. Do you want to tell us more about how your team have been tackling this?
Sure. When we began our AI journey, our team didn't try and start too big. We didn't want to boil the ocean. There's tooling to adopt, there's training to roll out, and it can take time to embed that change across large organizations. Instead, we asked, what if we use Copilot to tackle the boring stuff? Things like updating documentation, adding tests, automating repetitive workflows, and fixing small bugs. Now, these might not always make the headlines, but they genuinely save time. They drive continuous improvement, and they build confidence in using AI across teams. They're also really easy to get started with. The teams, they can jump in and start seeing the value right away.
Yeah, it's amazing how many small items can come off the backlog with a little bit of help. Is there any themes? What sort of things would you never been able to do without Copilot's help?
It's our internal tools, especially admin screens. They used to take months, and changes rarely made the priority list. One recent project the team looked at was to track missing or mismatched stock transactions, and the work was scoped at about 3 months. Now, the impact of not doing the work meant that the team had to investigate data manually, and it was eating into their time. And we thought this was a great candidate for accelerated delivery with AI. This is greenfield, internal, with clearly defined scope and outcomes. Using Copilot agent mode and a spec-driven approach, our team shipped a robust solution in just 11 days. Wow. Now, it was a full-stack app with a React front end, .NET API, and a SQL database, designed to pull together data from a range of different sources. It's a fairly simple but a common scenario. We spent a few days working through the requirements, building out the specs that we'd use to feed into the generation stage. Now, nearly all the code was agentically delivered, and our back-end engineers, they leveled up their React skills with Copilot's help and reusable prompts that we make available to everyone. Now, I find this upskilling is a strong point of Copilot. Helps you navigate unfamiliar tech or components, can really give you a boost.
Yeah, we actually see this too. And it also actually gives you time back to focus on things. Make sure that things are really done right, that they feel good.
Yeah, exactly. And we baked quality and testing approaches throughout the delivery, making sure we had extra time to go beyond the basics and add some nice-to-have features we've been wanting to bring to our teams, but might never have made it onto the backlog without Copilot's help. Now, this solved a real problem for the team, giving them time back to focus on value work.
Yeah, one last question before you go. Now that you've had some experience in your team with Copilot, what do you think's next?
This really is just a start for us. We're identifying use cases and finding the best ways to adapt to working alongside AI-powered flows. We've been sharing best practice prompts in our team for a while, but the new feature in VS Code for Custom Agent looks to build that into the product, so we're really excited to use that.
Yeah.
We see a future where AI allows products and tech to collaborate and iterate quickly, sharing ideas and building with AI, taking advantage of integrations to keep everything flowing between toolsets. For us, GitHub is where a lot of this collaboration happens, allowing us to get to the best possible outcomes.
Yeah, great. Now, if you'd like to hear more from Dylan, you can meet him in person. Please join him. It's a ship and tell booth just outside there. He'll be GitHub Central from about 11:30 today. So thanks, and let's give Dylan a big round of applause, everybody. Thank you. So if enterprises like ASOS show us what's possible at scale, open source shows us how a single flash of human imagination can ripple across the world, connecting people, ideas, and possibility. In many ways, open source has actually been where the distance from idea to impact has been at its shortest, From Linux powering the web to TensorFlow fueling AI breakthroughs. These are not just tools. These are proof of what happens when people spot a need and then they build it together. Today, thanks to the creativity of open source maintainers and contributors, that pace is reaching new heights. So actually, I asked the GitHub community to tell us about some of their projects. Let's take a look.
This year, we threw out an invitation.
Hello, are you building an open source project? Do you want to tell more people about it?
And you delivered.
My name is Bodhish, and this is my Zero to Merge story.
I'm Elliott, and I'm the creator of Demo Time. My name is Daniel Rowe, and I lead the NWHacks team.
From around the world, projects of every size, every shape, every ambition answered the call. Developers showed us how they turned ideas into impact.
Copilot Coding Agent mostly completed new tasks, opening the door for new contributors to join in and finish that last 20%.
In the past, if I needed a JavaScript utility, I'd search NPM, and if it didn't exist, I was stuck writing it myself. Now I can tell Copilot to make it for me and eliminate a side quest.
Open source democratizes technology in a way that truly transforms how we work, learn, and solve global challenges.
Each submission was a glimpse into the future of open source. And out of all those incredible stories, one project rose to the top, one team that's about to take the GitHub Universe stage and share their story with the world.
OHC stands for Open Healthcare Network. We're a team of enthusiastic developers and contributors committed to building open technology, especially in the healthcare domain.
The ratio of number of doctors and nurses in India is not comparable to the actual number of people who's required. The more time we are able to save, that's the time they can spend with the patient.
When OHC came in, suddenly I realized that the small decision I make, the small issue that I file, now it's impacting millions.
This healthcare transformation created a very significant positive impact to every citizen of India.
Please welcome Bodhish Thomas and Jijin Chandy George.
Namaste, universe. We are honored to be here with you. You've just seen the world we operate in, where a pull request or an issue transforms how millions of people access healthcare every day in India. Our story started with a simple question: how can we help hospitals deliver care more efficiently?
We started as a small team, but open source helped us scale fast. And I'm proud to share that today, Open Healthcare Network has crossed 1,000 contributors, 10,000 commits, and we've grown from 200 to 1,400 hospitals across India. And that's all thanks to open source. Can we get a big round of applause for the open source community?
But healthcare isn't just about code. It's about trust, reliability, and human lives. It's about people behind every change: the doctors, nurses, engineers, students, all working together, raising issues, writing code, and building what people actually need.
And with GitHub, we've been able to do a lot faster. Issues and discussions have connected us directly to clinicians across India. Many we've never even met in person. Copilot is our amplifier. It extends the capabilities built by our community while enabling the community to innovate even faster on top of that foundation. But enough talk, let's give you a real example.
We've always been working on shipping new features to continue to improve our app, Care. It's a platform for hospitals to track and manage patient care. Care is currently deployed across 10 Indian states, directly impacting millions of people in those geographies. One of the requirements we got was an issue where hospital staff and administrators needed a clear way to manage their most valuable asset, available beds. To address this, we needed a cleaner way to monitor what is available and what is occupied to efficiently triage admissions.
Our APIs already had this information. We just needed to visualize it. The faster we could build this dashboard, the better. It was a perfect type of task to assign to the coding agent. Copilot got to work in the background, freeing us to focus on other areas of the project. Once Copilot was ready with the PR, it notified us with a summary. We can see that it created a new dashboard component, incorporated it into the existing application.
While Copilot did an incredible amount of work, there is always space for members of our community, like Jacob here, to jump in and comment and give feedback to ensure Copilot builds the right way. In this specific case, Copilot did not use the right React hook. He gave Copilot that feedback through comment on the PR, and it got right to build it.
And since all of this was done in a PR, our automations also ran like our Netlify deploy previews. With the help of Copilot, we were able to implement this feature within a day and deploy it just as fast. In Care, for each facility, now we have a dashboard to understand the availability of beds split between each hospital unit, wing, or ward. This is no exaggeration. Copilot contributed to saving lives and improving patient care. And with each update, we are seeing greater improvements in the PRs Copilot generates, and an even bigger impact for our community.
This is just one example, and we can't wait to see where this takes us next. Thank you to GitHub and to our amazing community for helping us move faster and make a real difference. And to think, all of this began with a single question, a moment of pure curiosity that's now changing lives of millions of people in India.
Thank you, universe.
Nani, namaskaram.
At its core, a hackathon is an invention marathon. Participants come up with ideas for robots and apps and websites, and then they're challenged to actually bring them to life.
It really is just like a marathon, but everyone's just coding.
It's something that you don't really get an opportunity to do anywhere else. You're with these people for 36 hours, working as hard as you can to put out a product that you're proud of.
It's such a better way to learn than sitting in a classroom just writing notes, listening to lecture.
We know that we wanted to make something that was
both fun and have a practical use.
We wanted it to work as a controller, a keyboard, a mouse. This can be given to someone who talks in sign language, and then the glove will be able to recognize what they are saying and give us live direct translation.
I'm a developer on CrisisLens.
CrisisLens is a decentralized video streaming platform that empowers people to broadcast live conditions in unfiltered, raw ways.
Our project is an interactive Braille display that allows the visually impaired to learn Braille independently. The problem with a device like this is just really expensive, and we are building a solution towards solving that problem. Accessible tools do not need to be that expensive.
Someone's first hackathon is their light bulb moment. It's the thing that sets them on this creative path. They go out, they get an internship, they get a job, they start contributing to open source.
Being able to make a project from ideation all the way to final development and deployment is one of the most valuable experiences that I got.
Seeing teenagers build things they didn't realize they were capable of, it's hard not to feel optimistic about the future.
Woo! Now, if you're like me, you love a good hackathon, you know, the energy, the late nights, the smell of cheap pizza in the air, that joy of creating for just the sake of it. They're a hive of curiosity and rapid creation where dream it in the morning, build it in the afternoon, it truly doesn't stop. You know, I've had some very, very late nights at hackathons. Beyond the excitement of projects, the real magic of hackathons, though, is what you learn along the way. The new skills, the technologies, and ways to solve problems together. That's why GitHub Education has given 11 million students and teachers worldwide access to the same tools that power the world's biggest companies, including Copilot. And it's through partnerships with Hack Club and Major League Hacking that we're able to collaborate with some of the most interesting problem solvers of the next generation. But instead of me telling you how amazing these students are, please join me in welcoming them live on stage. First up, we have Jaden and Elliott. Sorry. Come on up. This is Elliott, not Elliott. I've no idea what his name was. Anyway, Jaden, over to you.
Hello, universe. We ask ourselves, what if your hands could speak any language? From sign language to the language of games, music, and expression itself. So, we built Crazy Controllers, a glove that translates human language, human actions into digital actions. Inspired by the gaming power glove, we created a gauntlet that's able to recognize different hand gestures. The position of your hand is processed by a neural network made in TensorFlow, and that allows the glove to differentiate between the gestures you're making.
There are velostat sensors attached along the fingers of the glove. As I bend my fingers, the resistance within the sensors changes. Then, the sensor values are sent by Bluetooth to the laptop, where they are passed. The GUI displays the probability that any of the trained gestures are being performed. Here we have the first few letters of American Sign Language. As I change signs, the UI updates to reflect the gesture that I'm doing. Of course, we want to have a little fun as well, so we can use this to play a game, like Snake.
We've never used PyQt before. Copilot taught us the syntax as we typed. During Hack Club's Undercity, we went from 0 to a working GUI project in just 72 hours.
Thank you both. Let's give Jaden and Elliott a big round of applause. And we'll bring out Brian and Alethea. Alethea. Coming up. There you go. Cool. Alethea.
Social media is an incredible tool for connection. But when a crisis strikes, those who need to be heard the most, the people on the ground, often can't break through. Censorship, algorithms, and shifting platform policies become barriers when communities need raw, unfiltered, and real-time footage now. So we created CrisisLens, a peer-to-peer, live-streaming, open-source platform that puts crisis communication into the hands of those experiencing it. For example, you can click on road closure markers to get a sense of which routes will affect you, and emergency service incidents are also shown on the map.
We've created an algorithm to help you determine danger zones, which will also help you to visualize the affected area. You can find past live streams like this one. We made this using LivePeer, which we'd never used before. Copilot helped explain the SDK in plain English. It also helps smooth out a few bumps between connecting the Firebase metadata to Mapbox. This icon right here shows us that there's a live stream going on in our area right now. Let's take a look. There are our teammates, Lance and Eric, backstage.
That's incredible. Let's give it up for Brian and Alethea, and we'll bring it out next two students, Cindy and Alison. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Martin. Worldwide, only a small percentage of the blind population can actually read Braille. And the cost of refreshable Braille displays makes them out of reach for many people who need them. So, at NWHacks, we built Braillearn, which allows the visually impaired to learn Braille without needing the help of a sighted person.
So we have the Braille box and our learning app working together for an interactive experience. In display mode, you can say or type in a character or word, thank you, and the box will spell out each character.
GitHub is being displayed.
By feeling the raised dots, the learner can begin to recognize familiar words and characters in Braille. Our app is entirely keyboard and screen reader friendly, making it accessible to everyone. We also have learning modules, which help a user intuitively learn Braille through structured learning and quizzes.
On the software side, we have React and Node.js to power our app. We're using speech recognition and character processing via the Web Speech API. On the hardware side, we're controlling 6 servo motors with an Arduino. Copilot is what allowed us to iterate and debug faster. It helped us generate C code for the Arduino, debug our speech-to-text implementation, and also design our front end.
This is amazing. Do you want to show folks actually inside? I love the smell of Arduinos in the morning, okay? Isn't that great? Okay, right, let's give a big round of applause for all these students. Now, if you want to connect with them in person, they're actually going to be in the Stars Lounge from 11 a.m. to noon, so please do stop by. They're just amazing. You can see the reason why we believe in this next generation of builders so much. It's not the technology, it's their ingenuity, the curiosity, their drive. They saw problems and they turned them into possibilities. They learned new skills in real time, they worked as teams, and they proved with just a little bit of imagination, but a lot of resourcefulness, you can truly build something that matters. So today, we've journeyed through big ideas, we've seen small wins, bold experiments, we've explored different problems, different perspectives. What connects them all, though, is this same unstoppable force, inspiration, this irrepressible idea to go and think, I can build that. I can go build it, and then I build it. It's at the heart of every single breakthrough that you've seen today. From ASOS using AI to fix the boring stuff, to students building the impossible in the weekend, to Open Healthcare Network, who reached millions of people all across India. The impact is monumental, it's world-changing, it's even life-saving. But here's what I've learned after over 40 years in tech. The projects that change the world, they start from the same place as the projects that bring you joy. They start with curiosity, with play, with someone just asking, what if? It's about maintaining that childlike sense of wonder that made you write your first Hello World in the first place, So no matter where you're building from or what you're building, it's about remembering that the distance from a silly idea to a world-changing one, it's often just perspective. And that's what GitHub is built to protect. Not just your ability to ship code, but what you can dream, what you can create with your belief. Your freedom to tinker, to play, to just build the thing, even if it's wonderfully unnecessary for the masses, but wildly meaningful to you. So I can't wait to see what you build next. But until then, as you can see, I've just got one little bit of silliness that I wanted to share with you. And please welcome back to the stage my friend Helen and her Furby choir. Come on. Thanks, everyone. Have a great universe and a happy Halloween.